Welcome back to Ramping Up Your English, an educational support program for intermediate level English speakers who want to get better in English. If that's you, you're in the right place. Our first unit is Trains and Railroads. This is segment 3 of episode 29. Today we're crossing the wilds of Alaska aboard a train. Let's see some more of this adventure with this video clip.
Our rapid clackety-clack slowed to a grind around some of these sharp curves. Here's another beaver dam, backing up the water for a lodge. This is beaver country, and I don't mean Oregon State University. Much of Alaska's landscape is still shaped by these clever builders. We put a lot of trust in human engineers and builders on this trestle. wasn't logical, but this much relief had me hanging on to this train.
And we are getting ready to go into Indian Valley. Once we get there, we'll pass Indian River.
Beavers made use of these kettle holes as well. Those who raised kits built their lodges in the middle, while bachelor lodges were constructed on the bank. We could see it all from the windows of our dome car. All the Cruise West passengers filled our half of the car, except there was one passenger too many. That was me. I sat on the side with the Princess passengers. I was right on the border between groups. Someone saw salmon in this river, so I was climbing all over the seats, eager to get video if there were any to see. There were no salmon jumping in this clean, cold water, but I did see yet another beaver dam. We saw no salmon, nor did we see any beavers. There were lots of trees, though. This is the boreal forest, sometimes called taiga. Roots only go down so far until they encounter permafrost. Our train ride only took us as far as Talkeetna. We sliced through Alaska's green interior, green in the summer anyway. And then we abandoned these train cars, like most of the other passengers. We'd travel the rest of the way to Anchorage in a motor coach, where spirits were still high at the end of a long, wonderful day.
Welcome back to Ramping Up Your English. Doing a state report on a state as huge and varied as Alaska would be a challenge, but imagine how interesting it would be when you're done. Just use some of the sentence structures we've learned. The whatever feature you're talking about of Alaska is, or Alaska's whatever feature you're talking about is, or using the possessive pronoun its. Be sure to go beyond these beginning steps to do some description. Write about the land features and the coastline. There's the Inside Passage, the interior, the Arctic North. There's all the different kinds of people in these regions, as well as world-class wildlife. There's the indigenous population, the Russians and the Americans. There are whales, walruses, and bald eagles. Don't forget about the gold rush. Don't forget about the extreme weather and how people cope with that extreme weather. You'll want to include the vast natural resources and industries, but don't forget the great conservation work that's being done. Great national parks and wildlife refuge have been set aside by President Carter and supported by Presidents Clinton and Obama. There's the threats of monstrous gold mines and their conflicts with the finest salmon habitat on the planet. You'll also want to include the Alaska Pipeline and the resulting wealth being shared by the indigenous communities. But you'll also want to include the horrific consequences of the Exxon Valdez oil spill and the natural disasters of earthquakes and tsunamis. If you decide to research Alaska, you'll be writing a very long but very fascinating report. You may not have the privilege of visiting the 49th state, but with the research you do on the internet and the reference books, plus the videos you watch, your biggest headache may be deciding what gets left out. The video clip we showed today could help you understand some of what you've read about the great state. Whatever your research tells you, be sure to write about it in your own words. Now, I know it's likely to be a challenge with limited English, But taking on that challenge will stretch your English proficiency far more than just copying a book or computer screen. And good luck on that challenge. You can watch the video clip we featured on this show or watch the entire episode by visiting my website, letscreate.org. Click on the episode 29 page. You can also view and even download the program and more by visiting archive.org/details/roguetv. Click on Ramping Up Your English on the right sidebar or choose my name. You can watch this series twice a week on Channel 15 and others on the Ashland Home Network and on Channel 182 on Charter Cable in Southern Oregon. The TV channels in other areas of the country may be different. Check times for your local public access station. I want to thank my volunteer crew, my announcer Bob Ayers, RVTV, and I want to thank you, our viewers. See you next time for Ramping Up Your English. I'm John Letts.
You've been watching Ramping Up Your English, a support program for intermediate level English language learners. Learn more. Visit our website at letscreate.org. You can also watch or download today's program at archive.org/details/roguetv. Join us next time on RVTV Voices for Ramping Up Your English.